Welcome back. Great to have you with us. In suburbs around the country, an increasing number of homes are being repossessed by the banks, with sale prices dropping to 2003 levels. Tonight, our guide on where to find value properties that have been forced onto the market.
We're devaluing them by $50,000 to $100,000.
Over 100% reductions.
They don't want to hold that property. They want to flick it out at any price.
You know, the opportunity came up and we didn't want to miss it.
Mortgagee house sales might just be the silver lining for buyers, at least in this current real estate downturn. Buyers like young couple Scott and Carmen.
We've probably saved anywhere between $30,000 to $40,000.
It's boom time for Paul Flynn, who buys and sells mortgagee properties.
There's more mortgagee sales now on the market than I've experienced ever before in 25 years of real estate.
John Kovacs is from National Mortgagee and Deceased Estate Data.
In fact, the December quarter, we saw quite a dramatic increase. In Queensland, we saw an increase of mortgagee repossessions by 48%. In New South Wales, we saw an increase of 41%, and in Victoria, 37%. The more you have in a given area, the quicker property prices start to fall.
One family's tragedy is another's property triumph. And while mortgagee investors could be seen as real estate vultures, it's purely commercial for Paul Flynn.
I'm not dealing with the people that are losing the homes, I'm more dealing with the banks that are selling them.
In Queensland, the figures are astounding. Some prices back to cheaper than 2003 levels.
This is a 3-bedroom high-set home. It was put on the market at the end of 2010 for $275,000. It was on the market for a year. The banks ended up repossessing it. It ended up selling at the end of 2011 for $168,000.
The house in Kingston on Brisbane's south side needed $10,000 worth of renovations. It has now been rented out for $295 per week. This 2-bedroom unit, also in Kingston, is only a block from the train station. It just sold for $150,000.
What was it last sold for?
About $175,000 in 2008.
What sort of rental return would you get on this?
Easy $250 a week.
On the Gold Coast, this beachfront Surfers Paradise apartment sold for $1.7 million in 2006. It sold at auction for $1 million less, for $720,000. An apartment in the luxury Q1 building sold for $970,000. In 2006, it sold for $2 million. In Victoria, a mortgagee townhouse in Sandhurst sold for $420,000. Similar townhouses in the area have been selling at the $460,000 mark.
The advantage is that they can be bought at less than market value.
In New South Wales, this Rhodes apartment was valued at $1 million when it was built in 2007. It sold as a mortgagee in repossession for $860,000.
Many of these mortgagee sales right now are in very good locations. And so you may very well get the double whammy. You may get the cheap location, plus also you might get the distressed seller.
Channel 9's finance guru Ross Greenwood says most banks will try and work with mortgage holders to help them keep their house.
It's only in a worst case scenario that somebody will have the sheriffs come around and throw them out of the house.
We purchased this place for $313,000. Yeah, we've been looking around, and most of the houses we'd seen on comparison we thought were about $370,000, $380,000, and that was what we were looking at paying. But yeah, so when this one came up, we just snapped it.
The money Scott and Carmen saved on their new house in Ipswich will go towards renovation.
You do feel for those people who have had to, you know, the bank has had to take their house, but I think you've got to think about it just like it was a property on the market.
Not all mortgagee sales are bargains, and not all repossessions are advertised by the banks.
Don't assume that because it's a mortgagee repossession that it's automatically a good value property. You must still do your research.
And for more information on that story, visit our website.